Hello and a very warm welcome to BPro and this insight session about the People Professional Level 5 Apprenticeship. I am Kathleen and I'm the program lead for this apprenticeship. In this insight session, I'm going to take you through the learning journey and the next steps for your enrollment. In this insight session, I'm going to introduce you to BPro, apprenticeships, including eligibility criteria, off-the-job hours and commitment, professional recognition, CIPD qualification, apprenticeship duties, endpoint assessment, application process, timeline, and next steps. Just a few words about us, BPro. We started in 2014 and grew from just 2 people to being a national provider delivering primarily HR, L&D and coaching qualifications. We are specialists in what we do and our core mission is to provide our learners with an exceptional learning experience. Our development coaches and CIPD tutors are fully committed, very experienced in the field of HR, and best placed to support your development within the people profession. We work with well-known organizations across the private and public sectors, covering many different industries. Studying in a cohort enables our apprentices to meet peers from various backgrounds and professional experience, learn from them, and build their people professional network. For those of you who may not know much about apprenticeships, an apprenticeship is a work-based learning program that allows someone to gain real hands-on work experience and improve their employability and performance, career prospects, and increase their earning potential over time. Apprentices will need to demonstrate they are fully competent against all the knowledge, skills, and behaviors, KSBs for short, of their chosen apprenticeship standard. So what we mean by knowledge is what they must know, skills, what they must be able to do, demonstrate, and behaviors, how they must behave. There are some eligibility criteria to enroll on an apprenticeship in England. Must be 16 plus, must not use a student loan to pay for the apprenticeship, must spend at least 50% of their working hours in England, must have a job role related to the chosen apprenticeship, must work more than 16 hours per week, and if less than 30 hours, this increases the duration of the apprenticeship, must require substantial new learning, and must complete a mandatory assessment during the enrollment process for math and English functional skills. Off-the-job training is defined as learning which is undertaken outside of day-to-day work responsibilities which the learner is already competent in. This training must take place within the apprentice's normal contracted hours. The minimum off-the-job training for someone working more than 30 hours per week is 6 hours per week, although each standard varies. The off-the-job training activities must be directly relevant to the apprenticeship and provide the time to develop the required skills, knowledge, and behaviors. An apprenticeship requires a sustained commitment from the learner and their employer throughout the entire duration of the apprenticeship. Exposure to challenging and stretching activities and projects outside of current job remit to ensure learning and development towards the knowledge, the skills, and the behaviors. An average of 8 hours per week off-the-job learning must be evidenced consistently throughout. Preparing and attending formal progress reviews every 8 weeks, attending workshops and completing assignments, working with a mentor where possible, and finally sustained support from the employer. Let's dive into the People Professional Level 5 Apprenticeship. The duration is 18 months plus 3 months for endpoint assessment, the final external assessment. You must be currently working within a people function role so that you are able to evidence by the end of your apprenticeship that you can perform at this level. The endpoint assessment will require you to provide evidence that you're operating at this level. The broad purpose of this occupation is to support the business to meet its objectives through the people agenda and related initiatives. People expertise will be used to provide advice, views, and challenges to the business, enabling the role to be involved in a wide range of projects. This role can be found in organizations of any size in any sector. In smaller organizations, the role is likely to have a broader remit. People professionals are responsible for various activities from attracting, recruiting, developing and retaining talent, managing payroll and benefits, supporting positive employee relations, and ensuring compliance with employment law. What you can see now on the screen is a list of typical job titles for the People Professional Apprenticeship. Individuals in this role will typically provide HR solutions and tailored advice to the business in several HR areas, typically to mid-level and senior managers. They could be in a generalist role where they provide support across a range of HR areas, or a specialist role where they focus on and have in-depth expertise in a specific area of HR. On completion, you will gain 2 recognized qualifications: the People Professional Level 5 Apprenticeship Standard and the CIPD Associate Diploma in People Management. Here is a program overview showing how these 2 qualifications run alongside each other and how they are assessed. To the left, the academic CIPD Associate Diploma. You will study 7 units in total, and for each unit, submit a 4,000-word assignment. You will attend a 3-hour interactive workshop every 3 weeks delivered by a specialist tutor to support you with the knowledge and the writing of assignments. To the right, the vocational and performance-based apprenticeship. You will have to evidence a set of 51 knowledge, skills and behaviors, KSBs, that people professionals are expected to demonstrate when working at this level. You will work with your Be Pro development coach to ensure that you're fully prepared for your endpoint assessment, which is the formal, final, and external assessment of your apprenticeship and made of 3 components. A professional discussion on a portfolio of evidence built throughout the apprenticeship to showcase your very best pieces of work. A presentation followed by a professional discussion on a successful workplace project that you delivered to the business, and the submission of your final CIPD unit assignment 5003. This is called an integrated method of assessment. It means that you cannot gain the CIPD Associate Diploma without completing your EPA and vice versa. You will also have to achieve your Math and English functional skills at level 2. Here on this slide, you can see a breakdown of learning content for each component of your apprenticeship. The CIPD diploma will give you knowledge in 7 core and specialist subject matters: organizational performance and culture, evidence-based practice, professional behaviors and valuing people, employee relationship management, talent management and workforce planning, reward for performance and contributions, and your final optional unit. The apprenticeship will get you to put into practice this knowledge and evidence skills and behaviors through 13 workplace activities called duties. The functional skills component is mandatory for all apprenticeships. Let's see on the next slide how that works. Functional skills in math and English are vital for academic and professional success. Math involves practical numeracy and data handling. English focuses on strong communication abilities. That's the very reason why they are a mandatory component of all apprenticeships in the UK, whether you're doing an apprenticeship in painting and decorating or engineering. You can't complete your apprenticeship successfully if you don't have math and English. If you can provide evidence of previously achieving GCSEs grade A to C or equivalent level 2 certificates in math and English, it means that you are officially exempt, but you will still be expected to improve your functional skills during the program. If you cannot evidence this evidence, then you will study towards a functional skills qualification at level 2 with our support alongside your apprenticeship and your CIPD qualification. You'll be allocated a dedicated tutor, attend workshops, and work through your learning plan until you are ready to sit the exam. Please note that studying towards math and English is not included in the off-the-job hours. Your employer should factor this in your working week. Now let's go back to the KSBs, People Professional Apprentices must demonstrate. There are 51 of them, and here are some examples on the screen. Please note that the knowledge is gained through the CIPD workshops and your assignments, as well as your employer supporting with knowledge that is directly relevant to your organization. For example, K14 is commercial awareness of the business and the external environment within which it operates. As mentioned earlier, the KSBs are all about what you know, what you can do, and how you behave. And the 13 work-based activities called duties will give you the scope to evidence this and gather evidence for your EPA portfolio. All 13 duties align with the CIPD unit topic and KSBs, as you can see with the example on the slide. You must use your off-the-job hours to work on one duty every 6 weeks. This means that you may have to work outside of your current remit, which is exactly the purpose and objective of the apprenticeship. In this example here, Duty 1 requires you to develop and implement a people strategy with a focus on celebrating EDI initiatives, adding value to your organization, whilst considering the financial implications of your solutions. A possible project here would be developing an apprenticeship pipeline scheme to bring more women into the business to promote diversity. You could either lead or collaborate to this project, and it could take approximately 30 hours. Whilst you work on this project, you would have to make sure the KSBs are taken into consideration. Here we have K11, S9, S12, etc. Your tangible evidence could be a Gantt chart, a new procedure or policy, even an annotated photograph. Whatever your evidence, it must tell a story. Once you've delivered the duty, your coach will lead a professional discussion to challenge you, build your confidence, and prepare you for EPA. At the start of the apprenticeship, you will be given a duty planner. You and your employer must plan the 13 duties based on your organization's HR strategy, plans and priorities, and ensure it can all be evidenced within your apprenticeship practical period. This ensures that both yourself and your employer are involved in the curriculum design of your apprenticeship to meet both your learning needs and the needs of your organization. After you completed the learning activities planned during your 18-month program, you'll be invited to attend a gateway meeting to start the EPA process. During this meeting, your coach will review with you and your line manager your learning evidence as listed in point 1 to 4 in the gateway meeting icon. All parties will then agree if you're ready to enter EPA and start preparing for your final assessment. As we have seen, there are 3 main components to your apprenticeship, and they each have their own platform. BUD is an e-portfolio to record everything related to your apprenticeship, for example, your portfolio of evidence and your progress reviews. The BPro Classroom to access your CIPD workshops and learning materials and submitting your assignments. BKSB to complete your initial assessment in Math and English and work through your functional skills learning plan. A CIPD membership is required from the start of your apprenticeship. This is because each assignment is sent to the CIPD, who ultimately will issue a diploma. You'll be offered to apply for either a 6 or 18 months membership, and you can pay monthly. You can also ask your employer if they would support with the membership. Now, if you think this apprenticeship is for you, then here is what will happen next. First, complete BUD registration, a skill scan, and your Math and English initial assessment. Every applicant and their line manager are required to complete a skill scan. This is a self-evaluation tool to identify your current skill set against the specific requirements of your apprenticeship. This is to ensure you will benefit from substantial new learning on the program and will help create an individualized plan based on your starting point. There will be no point in you doing an apprenticeship if you already have the skills, the knowledge and behaviors, and this would make you ineligible for this apprenticeship. Next is an IAG call. This is a meeting with the learner, the line manager and the coach. The purpose of the meeting is to discuss the skill scan, identify your current starting point, and ensure there is scope within the job role to evidence the KSBs through the 13 duties. Following the IAG call is the enrollment. The enrollment is a meeting with the learner, the line manager, and the BPro coach. During the enrollment, all 3 parties will demonstrate their commitment by signing an apprenticeship agreement, a training plan, and the funding agreement. Finally, program starts. You will start working through your BUD learning plan with the support of your dedicated BPro development coach. So this was an overview of the People Professional Apprenticeship at Level 5. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. We hope to see you very soon, and thank you for attending this insight session.